last you guys were here, you had traveled all the way from leaving the Lonely Wood, not even heading back to Lonely Wood to rest after encountering the Elven tomb. You claimed a mummy as your own, traveled through the dark woods, heading towards the cabin where Cadillac had learned about a gnomish man by the name of Macradius. He learned about him from another gnomish man named Copper Knobberknocker, who was living in the city of Bryn Shander at the at one of the local shrines there that you sort of felt compelled to go into. And Copper told you that his good friend Macradius had been working on a device to end this terrible winter, and you hadn't heard from him in quite a piece. And if you ever got the chance to check on him again, if you were heading up that way to do his heart some good for you to look in on old Macradius. In your visions before the mirror inside of the Elven tomb, you saw many things, one of which was a scene that seems eerily similar to this. And we can go over again what you saw in the mirror and things that you know, but it's all on the YouTube for you to watch. You traipsed through the dark, actually, or not through the dark, but throughout the day until dark approached, as the sun seems to set earlier and earlier the further north you move, until you found yourself standing before this cabin. And I will set the scene for you here. Let me get a little... Perched on the edge of a snowy ridge above a gorge is a black lodge on wooden stilts. Whatever path might have led to this ramshackle retreat lies buried under snow. Icy steps climb to a snow-covered walkway that clings to the south side of the structure. The building's slumped posture and sagging snow-covered roof, coupled with the broken windows and loose flapping shutters, suggest utter abandonment. Large snowdrifts huddle around the rotting stilts and engulf a nearby woodshed and outhouse. Only the wind visits this sinister place. Find yourself in the dark, standing before this place that you felt, based on the map that you were given and the instructions, is this must have been the right direction towards where the cabin that Macradius was supposedly heading towards would have been at. And I'll bring you to that scene now, as soon as I can find it. One moment. This is what you get when you have too many maps. Just can't find things.
Too many maps.
Dude, so many maps. There's like 100 maps in here. And then I add maps to it, and it's just...
At first, I thought you said too many naps, and I thought, I don't even know that that's possible.
Sure, this is the right one.
Too many naps. Impossible.
Impossible.
I agree.
So it's dark. You guys are standing next to, some of you have better vision than others. You're standing next to what looks like an outhouse, and you can see this black-looking cabin up ahead. Where you are right now, there is a wooden outhouse half buried in snow next to you, and there's what looks like an elevated wooden walkway up ahead.
Didn't we discuss parking in between these trees and sort of taking a rest?
You'd sort of discussed that. It had not been fully adjudicated if that's what you guys were going to do, if you were going to pull out Lehman's tiny hut and try to sleep here, or exactly what you were going to do.
That seems like a good idea to me.
I have a mummy who can take watch.
I need to adjust the dynamic lighting, by the way, while you're doing that. Okay. So you're going to pull out Lehman's tiny hut and make the mummy take a shift?
I mean, the mummy doesn't really need sleep.
I suppose not. Apologies. I'm playing with the dynamic lighting here, okay? So if the lighting looks weird, just give me a minute.
It's like a disco. Lights are just.
Panic at the Disco. All right. So, are you setting watches? Is that what's happening here, or what are we? There we go. Okay, now I have the lighting set.
Well, we are impervious to attack while in it, correct?
You're impervious to some forms of attack. You're not invisible. Like, you're, you can see out of it. I don't think, can things see into it, Jello?
So the dome is opaque from the outside, but it can be of any color that I choose. But it is transparent from the inside, so we can see out of it. And I think in this case, try to camouflage us. So I'll make it kind of white color, the snow that's around us.
Yeah, you're not like totally like invisible. Like things could potentially surround you if they caught on to you. You were there. Okay. So Lehman's tiny hut can fit all of you in it. How big is the hut? I'm gonna draw it.
It is. I knew this a minute ago. 10-foot radius, so 20-foot diameter.
And so that's about like something like that. See if I can get it selected. Apparently not. Nope, once you've selected it, it's gone forever. I was going to try to move that, but now I can't get it Roll20 to select it again, so screw me, I guess. Maybe I've got it on the wrong layer. I don't know. Doesn't seem to be. Did I put it in the background? No. Oops. I don't know. All right, so it's about that big. And y'all are going to crawl into there somewhere like about there, I guess. It's too big to go right between those two trees. That's 20-foot radius. So it's a 10-foot radius. This is too big of a hut. But I can't seem to select it to get rid of it anymore, so. Here, oh, there I got it. So it's about like that. There you go. All right. Leonard, are you standing outside the hut keeping watch?
I think we can just sleep in the hut, and my dead mummy can just sit up and watch.
Okay. What are you
and
going to do?
alert us if it's transparent. If we can see out of it, can we see out of it? Did you say it was?
Yes.
So if we can see out of it, then he ought to be able to wake us up if anything comes about.
Okay. You could definitely put the mummy in the hut with you.
Unless somebody else is opposed to that idea.
Sounds good to me.
No, that works.
It smells beyond horrendous.
All the more reason to keep it outside the tent.
No, you put the mummy inside the tent. And he had the mummy inside the tent to stay awake and watch outside of the tent.
I feel like he smells okay. I feel like all of the stuff that could rot away.
Maybe better than you.
Yeah. I mean, he can't smell any worse than these hides I'm carrying around. But
No. The hides smell much
you
worse.
see, everything that could have rotted away has rotted away by now.
No, yeah, for sure. He's basically mummified remains. So, okay.
I'm not going to cuddle with him or anything. But
No. But you're all going to just stay in there.
Now you're going to wake up in the middle of the night snuggled up next to him.
Okay.
As long as I'm the big spoon.
Well, that's fine. Okay. The evening passes without really any obvious event. You wake up, and the mummy is standing there. What instructions did you give the mummy? Be very specific.
Okay, so I explained to him that why we're here, that we're here to find somebody, that it appears that this has now been abandoned. We're concerned about bad things happening. We're concerned about bad things coming after us. And so I'm going to tell him to stand watch, be vigilant, and look for anything that we might believe would be a threat to our well-being. And if he finds any of those things, if he sees or hears any of those things, to immediately wake me up.
Okay, the next morning when you get up, he looks at you and says, Master, there were 2 bears, 1 elk, and an owl bear that passed. I felt as if they were not a threat.
Okay, thank you very much. Which way did the owl bear pass?
Says, he points to the south.
How long ago was that?
I am a mummy. A few hours ago.
Okay.
It is daylight, and I'll give turn on the lights.
Can I go ahead and recall a tale from beyond?
Yeah, sure. What tale are you recalling?
Okie dokie. That one.
Mm-hmm.
Tale of the renowned duelist. Okay. So morning has come. You take down the hut,
Yes.
and you see the cabin in much better light. As you step out, you do see some tracks of animal prints around, including a bear, and you don't see any owlbear tracks, but you see an outhouse, you see what looks like a wood pile, and then you see this rickety-looking cabin. That it appears slightly less creepy in the daylight, but still pretty creepy. It's perched on the edge of a ledge here, sort of hanging over. Not really completely hanging over, but like right on the edge. So it looks like a rickety wooden walkway around it.
Are those trees at the bottom of the ledge? So like a forest under there?
It's forest. It's way down. You're still in the middle of the forest. That's what that is, yes.
So I think Sonar and I are going to start walking to the, I guess, east, assuming that this map is north, south, east, and west.
Yes, it's
And
sort of
we're-
east is, yep.
Yeah.
All right, as
So
you
we're-
head there is a pathway that sort of leads up this sort of rickety-looking walkway towards 2 doors that you can see here and here. Granite Guts, as you're sort of there, you kind of have to climb up there onto that walkway, and there's sort of broken boards here along the walkway.
Oh, got it. I see. Those are stairs. Got it.
Those are
Okay.
steps. And the 3 of you climbed up the steps, and as you sort of approach there, you see there are a couple of like broken boards in the rickety-looking walkway, and it forms about a 4-foot wide gap or so.
So just going to take my sort of time, be very careful.
This walkway sort of leads up, and it's about 20 feet elevated because it's up on stilts. So like this portion of the walkway here is about 20 feet above the snow. And you see a couple of doors up here. You've sort of come up the steps, and where Sinar and where Sinar the mummy and where Harkisar is about 20 feet up in the air on this sort of rickety looking boards. Granite Guts, you're on the steps.
Yes. Are there any the first window is sort of around the corner.
Yes, there are a few windows that are around the corner. They're up in the air, 20 feet high. Imagine this cabin is 20 feet up on stilts. So, like, you would have to, like, climb up there or something to sort of look in. So, you're on the steps now.
Sonar and I are going to
Yes.
continue to sort of carefully navigate our way around, sticking close to the wall of the building rather than out by the stilts.
Yeah, there's a section there where there's about a couple of little gaps and stuff like that. You're kind of carefully walking around it.
Yeah.
Okay. They creak underneath your feet. And there's snow and it's kind of slippery as you sort of are making your way around.
So it's dubious that we're sneaking up on anybody with all the creaking.
It kind of creaks under your feet, but you haven't noticed any activity as you're sort of able to look into that room there, around that corner, Harkus, as you sort of make your way near that creaking. There is a room in there where frost covers every surface of what looks like maybe an abandoned workshop. You can see like some like tools or something in there, but
Sonar and I are gonna go in here.
Okay. As you open it up, you see a workshop that is completely covered in frost. There's a window leading outside. Let me get the lighting off so you can get in. You were just able to walk right through there. There's what looks like a set of smith's tools on a wooden table and a set of tinker's tools along with it and some bits of twisted metal. There's a bookcase up against the north wall. And as you come in, some squirrels kind of dash around through a tiny little hole near the floor. There's some parts of scraps of paper and other debris and detritus, scattered around.
I'm going to take the 2 bags of tools.
Okay, so you grab smith's tools and tinker's tools.
And then looking
I like how nobody was checking out the outhouse.
Yeah.
looking at the bookcase, is there
there are
books on it? Is it empty?
No, it's full of like scattered ramshackle random papers and things like that.
Okay. If I take a moment to sort of thumb through anything, does it give me any idea of where anybody went, what was going on? Is there
what you see in the papers, there's like scratched out notes and something about, what do you speak? What languages do you speak?
Common, giant, goblin, and orc.
Yeah, so you can't read it. There's sort of like handwritten notes that sort of they look like they're written in like Dutch to you or me or something. It's like there's little itty bitty.
I've got an elvish mummy with me as well.
Yeah, it's not elvish. He looks over you. He's like, "I'm illiterate."
You're not very princely, man.
No,
Not very
kidding.
princely at all.
I'm just kidding. No.
I was going to say, wasn't he an aristocrat of some description?
He was.
That's what I was thinking.
King of the Sun Elves.
I think the Moon Elves.
Moon Elves?
Is prince of this tribe of Moon Elves.
As a prince, he's not required to read or write.
No. He looks. I was raised to lead.
They
not
do that
to
for
read.
me.
No, I think that if you hold it before him, he says, "This is a dialect of Gnomish I am not familiar with. I make out words. It talks about..." And he sort of scratches his head and says something about, "He's mentioning the summer star. I do not know what he means by summer star." Yep. But other than that, there's nothing of interest on that bookshelf.
All right. Well, I'm gonna sort of grab that and take it with me, and maybe one of my compatriots will be able to figure that out.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I assume there's nothing else in here, so we're gonna make our way back out and continue around the rest of the thing, the rest
Okay.
of the walkway.
So are those
Yep.
windows or doors?
Those are windows. There is a door over here.
How big is that window?
It is window sized. It has glass on it. It's partially broken glass. There's about a 4-foot gap here. It's not very large.
Okay.
And there's snow cushioning everything underneath it.
All right, then I will step across.
You're gonna try to leap it?
Yes.
How much do you weigh?
I don't know the answer to that.
Look that up on your
Is-
character sheet real quick.
Let me see. Do. Description. 220.
Harkus, as you take a jumping leap over that 4-foot gap, you land on the opposite side, and all of a sudden the boards go snap. Make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Do. Oh, what? For some reason it didn't show up. How did that not work? It was an 11. I don't know why it didn't show up in.
It was an 11.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Harkus, as you fall down, the boards crash beneath you and you plummet down beneath the cabin. And you land on the snow. Kapunk. And I want you to take 1 bludgeoning damage. And you start rolling and sliding. And just as you reach the edge, as if you saved by 1 point, you manage to catch your foot on a root before you plummeted over this huge gorge right before you at the bottom of the ledge, and managed to catch yourself before sliding over the edge. And you see the tops of the trees below you and a few birds kind of. And you take 1 bludgeoning and have caught yourself. You're down in the snow now, and the creaking loose board has fallen loose. And yeah, that's what you guys see. How many hit points do you have, Harkus?
34 now.
Okay, if you had failed that, you would have died down there at the bottom of that gorge.
I mean, I feel like this doesn't take into account the fact that I'm a dexterous monk. I mean,
I feel like it did. That's why you have a dexterity.
I feel like if Leonard had to make that roll, it would have been a DC 50.
No. It's just a straight up DC. That's why you have a dexterity bonus to each of your characters.
what is
Just-
the?
It was basically a DC 10 or die.
What is the what? Okay, sorry for outside the. What's the Chrome plugin for D&D Beyond?
It is beyond 20.
Beyond 20. I'm not sure why it's not working.
Yeah, so that's what you guys see. Harkus cracks through a board and falls down. And you can tell that the loose board, he found it. And what's everybody else doing? What is see Tara and Leonard way back there in the back? What's Granite Guts, Toot, and Ordella? What are y'all doing? You just watched Harkus kind of fall down, and he sort of goes like, "Oh God, I'm good. As he almost
Breaking open
slid
a
off
window
the...
and climbing through instead of trying to get to the door.
Okay. You smash open a window, and as you break it open, Ordella, you're able to sort of crawl through the window. Make me a dexterity check, please, to avoid cutting yourself on the broken glass.
Looking like acrobatics.
No,
or-
dexterity, just straight up dex.
Oh, okay.
You're not doing any acrobat
see
work
it.
here. 16. Yeah, you're able to break open the window without cutting your hand open or anything, and crawl through without getting cut up too bad. As you crawl into this room, the room contains this lingering smell of burnt wood and flesh.
Mm.
You also catch the faint odor of wine. There's snow that is falling through holes in the roof, and it's been pushed into the corners by stiff winds blowing through the partially broken windows. The walls and the furniture are scorched black, including a table with the charred remains of a book on it. Next to the table, on the floor, amid several broken wine bottles, is a mostly incinerated skeleton and a round, frost-covered object about 6 inches in diameter. That's what Ordella sees. What is everybody else doing?
Jeff, Leonard is very interested in, because the whole reason he wanted to come here is because he thought we had a device. Like, he thought we had a technological marvel. So he is searching for signs of
Are you crawling? Are you crawling through the window, Leonard?
Yes, I will clunk through the window.
All right. Ordella has mostly cleaned it out, so that window is open. Harkus, what are you telling your mummy to do? Are you climbing back up the steps as you're seeing everybody?
Yeah, I'm trying to climb back up there and
Yeah, you
telling
managed
him
to go.
wait on me.
You managed to go back around, and the mummy is like, "My lord, you have fallen," or something like that. Leonard, as you enter the room, you see the same thing: burnt out stuff. There is a man with a skeleton. There's a skeletonized man I'll rehash that again. Walls and furniture are scorched black, including a table with the charred remains of a book on it. Next to the table on the floor are several broken wine bottles. Next to the table on the floor, amid several broken wine bottles, is the mostly incinerated skeleton and a round, frost-covered object, about 6 inches in diameter. So we'll say that that's like over here. There's a couple of windows over this way and a couple of rooms off.
It's gonna climb through the window as well. So.
All right. Granite Guts is not in, or Toot's in. Granite Guts, what are you doing? Leonard, what are you're walking over this way?
I'm walking over to the round thing.
Okay, that would be over here by Ordella.
Can I look at the round thing?
Yeah, you see there's a round object that everything is covered in like what looks like ash and stuff like that. And there's this round frost-covered thing that is next to the burnt-looking skeleton.
Before they touch it, can I just say maybe Yatara can identify it first?
Good idea.
I think identify requires him to touch.
Well, at least it's someone that can identify.
I'm open to letting somebody identify before I poke this thing to see what it does.
For the record,
have to touch it.
For the record, because Yatara also has identified, this last level up, I dropped it. So I no longer have it. So Yatara is the only one that can do it. I swapped it out for something else. So.
Well, I mean, I would like to see space whales again, just in case.
There are piles of things in each of the corners around the room. There's just stuff everywhere. There's a couple of windows over here. There's doors up front. Yatara, are you going over to the skeletonized body with the frost-covered thing and looking at it?
Yeah, where is it again?
I'll make a mark. Let me just put a mark where the skeleton and the frost-covered guy are. All right, Ordella, as you step there, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Wait,
please.
right here?
Yep, as you step to where you step, make me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Ooh.
The floor crashes out beneath Ordella's feet as the entire floor collapses, and you just see Ordella just disappear. And you hear her scream as the floor falls away in this zone here just entirely collapses underneath Ordella's feet. Is that whole portion of the cabin falls, and you hear Ordella just scream, and her voice fades. And Ordella, how many hit points do you have, Ordella?
44.
Ordella, you take 50 bludgeoning damage as Ordella falls away and just disappears off of the ravine as this portion of the cabin is entirely collapsed beneath her feet. You hear Ordella let out a scream, and then she disappears into the darkness. Ordella has just vanished as the floor seemingly has collapsed beneath her. What is everybody doing?
Not walking over that way.
So I'm
one of your party members, the floor just collapsed and she's just vanished into the darkness.
So I'm still on the boardwalk outside.
Yep.
Can I tell if she like fell underneath the cabin, or
it's like portion of the cabin was overhanging this ravine, and she just collapsed out from underneath it, and like you see portion of the cabin fall. You actually see it happen, Granite Guts. You see Ordella scream, and portion of the floor fall out, and Ordella just falls down the ravine, and you see her disappear into the darkness. And as you're able to look over that ravine, you can tell it's a long way down. It is probably 140 feet down, or 150 feet down or so to the treetops below.
Yeah.
And you see Ordella just fall over that area. Unless somebody had feather fall or something, they could react cast quick.
So
Granite Guts, you see it happen.
Let's touch.
Ordella falls unconscious. She's not dead yet, but everybody has to... The team, if you're going to try to save Ordella, will need to react.
I mean, I'll rush over to the hole and see what I see.
Yeah. As you rush over to the hole, you see, you can see down into the ravine. It's light now. It's not dark night. And you can see the crushed body, not crushed, but the body of Ordella surrounded by bits and pieces of broken wood, as she seems to have struck a tree or something on the way down. And she's down on the ground, and you don't see her conscious or moving down there. See a little trickle of blood down on the white snow below.
Is there anything like 30 feet below that I could potentially land on somewhere?
What are you looking for?
I'm thinking about using Misty Step to make my way down.
Like there are tree surfaces. How far can you Misty Step? Oh, you know what you could do? You know what you could do, actually, Toot? You can leap off, and right before you hit the ground, you can Misty Step.
Yeah, we'll do that.
If you're going to do this crazy shit. I might require it to be... you got to time it real good, but like you could leap off and then about 30 feet before ground, just be like, boom, boom.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Toot, describe to me what happens. What does Toot do? Does Toot just leap into the hole all of a sudden? Does Toot say anything before doing this?
I mean, I think I will, I'll rush over, see her down there, and no, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to like, dive.
Toot dives out of the cabin, all Superman style, like just in a flat out dive. And right before you hit the ground, Toot, you cast Misty Step. How do you cast Misty Step? Just describe what does this look like as Toot is like leaping and then is gonna like teleport right before he hits the ground.
Yeah, so like I know nobody can hear me, so I'm just like muttering to myself and I'm diving. So my hands are in front of me and I'm doing the material component or the somatic components. And yeah, I hope I get the timing right. You see like my cloak like fanning out behind me, as well as like the feather that's on my hat fanning out behind me, and yeah.
And then all of a sudden, right before two hits the ground, just he blinks, blink, blink, and appears like standing next to Ordella. And I think you like have to catch yourself a little bit as your momentum sort of carries a bit, as you sort of like your like cloak billows around, and you're down on the ground now next to Ordella, about 150 feet below the cabin.
Perfect.
You can tell that Ordella is breathing, but she is definitely not conscious and sick. Ordella, make me a death save.
Hang on, show me how I do that again.
It's a D20.
D20, thank you.
It's a 20-sided die. Success.
Oh, yay.
Bonus
Ordella-
action healing word.
Okay. Toot heals Ordella.
Yay!
Yay.
And Ordella, you regain consciousness down on the ground with 5 hit points.
Yay.
Ordella,
Thank you.
do you say anything?
I asked what happened.
I just point up to the big ass hole in the floor. And then I bend down and start like trying to wipe blood off of her.
Yeah. Ordella's got like blood running out of all of her blood holes.
I just like shake my head in disbelief.
I guess now I feel like it's a good time to bring this up since you're not dead. That when we first started, Jeff gave me Featherfall as a spell until he loaded it up for me, and I was like, I would never use that.
I would never use Featherfall. Ha 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 ha.
Glad I'm okay.
Yeah, I didn't think about that you could use Misty Step to do this. I didn't want to metagame it and suggest it to you, but yeah, that's totally something you could do.
Well, I was thinking like Misty stepping down the cliff, but your way was better.
I think just skydiving and then Misty Step right before you hit the bottom. I don't know if that is a legal use of that spell, but it's a cool use of that spell, so... yeah, so you two are down there at the bottom, 150 feet below. What is the rest of the crew doing as you have witnessed this happen?
All right. I'm assuming Ordell is in good hands.
Yeah, that's an assumption you can definitely make.
In good feathers?
In good feathers. So I am trying to sort out what this thing is.
It is covered in frost. Are you dusting it off and examining it?
Yeah, I'll try to chip some of the frost off.
Okay. You're able to do that. And all right, I just wanted to bring the collapsed floor area out. As you're able to do that, what you can see is that it appears to have a whatever this thing is. It's got like a black piece of stone or something in the middle of it. It looks almost like a gyroscope. There are 2 metal bands that are surrounding it. And on the metal bands are some sort of markings. It looks like a dense chunk of coal or something.
Is this the thing? So I remember the picture you showed had the guy with it looked like a thing with a button on it almost.
Yeah, he had like a screwdriver or something that was sort of working on a thing, but you could never see what he was actually working on.
Oh,
in the
okay.
vision. But yeah, as you are picking it up to dust it off, Leonard, it starts to glow with a golden radiance. It's as bright as a candle flame.
I'm gonna indicate to everyone that a thing is glowing in a room that looks like stuff exploded in it.
What do you do?
I'm gonna toss it over in the corner here.
So you like just immediately toss it? Like when it starts to glow?
And then I'm gonna run over here.
Okay. As you toss it, the glowing dissipates from this thing.
So it stops glowing like
Yep.
when it lands or when I stop touching it?
When you stop touching it.
Okay.
Feels like it might be a good time to have the zombie pick it up.
Well, I'm wondering,
He's expendable.
I'm going to try. Is there a cloth or something? Like a curtain or
You
like
don't
a hide,
see,
perhaps?
you don't see anything in this room.
yeah.
Like a piece of hide?
Does Harkus have a leftover hide? I could try to.
Here you go.
Okay, I'll try to grab it. With
As
the
you're all
hide.
as you're all standing in this room, you like a bottle all of a sudden kind of falls over and crashes and shatters. There was like a bottle on a shelf or a table or
it's
something.
one of those places.
I'm going to try to pick it up with the hide and see if it glows when I touch it through the hide,
Wait, where did you throw it?
Over here.
In the corner?
like over in the corner here.
And I'm going to ask Sonar if perhaps he's getting vibes of otherworldly things in this room, given that he is half in and half out of it. So
Okay. That's an interesting thing. What do you ask him specifically? You say vibes of another world.
So do you get the sense that we are not alone in this room, that perhaps there are spirits or ghosts or some other unnatural
he says
entity?
He says the border ethereal grows weak here.
Is there a particular space that I should stay away from? Basically the whole place in general?
He doesn't know what that means. He just says this place.
Okay.
As you start to pick it up with the cloths, it begins to glow again. What do you do? With the hides, it's glowing again. This is you, this is you,
with
Kenny.
the hides. It's
Yeah,
glowing.
it's glowing.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it back down on the table.
You just do you drop it immediately, or do you walk it over to the table?
I'm gonna walk it over to set it down, not near the hole.
Okay. As you do that, it glows brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter, and all of a sudden you are enveloped in just a golden radiance. It doesn't take but a second for this to happen.
So, like from here to here, it's already.
Yeah. And as you reach the table, where are you putting it on the table? Where is everybody else standing?
I was gonna.
Renegades, are you in the room?
I was going to
Put your characters wherever you are. This matters.
okay. I'll say that I'm right here then.
And role play it the way you would have been. Don't metagame it.
No, I threw it over here, and I was gonna walk it back to the table and put it down on the table.
So
that
you're
was
there.
My intent.
Harkus, where are you in Sonar?
Where did the bottle fall?
The bottle would have fallen off of like the table over here.
'Cause
There
I
were
feel
wine
like-
bottles.
I feel like we're going to have crept over a little bit, kind of away from the falling bottle, because I'm weirded out by that.
Okay.
But not far enough that.
And where on the table, Leonard, are you putting it?
Like on the nearest corner, like right here.
Okay. Then this raises a very interesting question. Leonard, are you alive?
That raises a very interesting question. I think technically yes, because I'm not immune to like mind control. Still, like I have a soul.
Yep. All right. You see Leonard as he's trying to walk this thing over everybody else, enveloped in just a huge amount of light. And it is about a 10-foot radius around Leonard. So everybody else is kind of out of the range. Ordella and Tudor down in the bottom. And all of a sudden, it just, as he's trying to walk it over to the table, it goes, boom, and there's just this flash of light. And Leonard, make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Let's see, con save.
Yes.
Huh.
What do we got? What did it roll?
That is, I believe, a 1.
Oh no. Leonard, it hasn't shown up on my side. Is it showing up on everybody else's side?
It's
No,
in D&D Beyond. But
It's in
okay.
D&D Beyond.
So that's a nat 1.
That is a nat 1. That is a critical failure.
Leonard, you take 83 radiant damage as you see light explode out. And where Leonard once was is a pile of just dust and sticks. And Leonard just poof, and his body is blown backwards. And Leonard, all of a sudden, you find yourself standing in this room. You did take 83 bludgeoning damage,
Okay.
or
so-
83 radiant damage.
So
Everyone
80
else, 83.
83 is a lot, but I have to take 86 to die for real, right?
Oh, do you? I'm sorry. It actually says you take 90.
Okay, 86 was the maximum.
So you all just see Leonard just boom. He's just gone. Leonard takes 90 radiant damage. And Leonard is just exploded gone. And Leonard, you find yourself standing there in this room. And you look down at yourself and you're sort of like see-through looking. Like you can sort of like see through your arms and see through your legs and stuff. And it's really very, very odd looking.
You're a ghost.
And standing next to you is a gnomish man who also looks quite see-through looking. And he looks over at you and he says, "Ah, you picked it up, didn't you? I tried to warn you, but you picked it up.
I put it back down.
Obviously not soon enough."
Fair.
I think right before this happens, I would have been like leaning over Ordella and putting my hand out to try to like pick her or like get her up off the ground. And I think I would have said, "I hope they leave that." And then at that point,
Yeah. So Leonard, you find yourself in this wispy like ghost world. As everybody else has seen your body just get blown back, and your body's not outright destroyed. It's definitely still there. But now you're like, Leonard, you're very much like a robot ghost.
So,
All right.
Next to this gnomish man that nobody else can see. Everybody else has seen this. The device falls down on the ground, and the glowing light seems to Jonathan, to Yatara, and to Granite Guts, and everybody else has just like faded from it. And it looks wholly inert.
just out of curiosity,
Yeah.
does my mummy friend pick up on anything?
Yeah.
This is
He looks over at you and he says, "We are not alone." And in your view, Leonard, little gnomish man goes, "I was a fool. It takes 3 bands to control it. I only had 2 bands on. You see, you've got to forge a 3rd control band around the summer star to be able to contain the energy. Elsewise it explodes. And here we are. But it's faded. It's inert now. You can pick it up and handle it. I was trying to contact you, but I've been imprisoned here. My spirit can't cross over and can't leave, and neither can yours, trapped here in this very cabin for all eternity. Unless your friends can free us.
I'm gonna try to get the mummy's attention.
How are you going to do that?
Because I'm gonna wave my arms and yell at him.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing.
Yep. Are you going to try to like manifest something in the physical world?
Well,
Macradius looks over you and goes, I was able to knock a bottle over, and I think one of your friends is on to us. I was a bit of a drinker in my day.
I feel like the mummy has the best chance of like tuning in to whatever I'm trying to do. So I'm trying to do something over here to get his attention.
Yeah.
Like, can I try real hard to do a ghost artificer ability?
Yeah, try. What are you going to do?
So artificers have an ability that is called magical tinkering, and I can imbue a tiny non-magical object with a magical property of my choice.
Oh, I love it.
Including a 6-second long recorded message.
Oh, I love it. Yes, you can definitely do this. You're able to do this from the plane ethereal. You are
That's
on the
awesome.
ethereal plane. What are you imbuing with a message?
So, what is this little? Is that a rock by the?
Yeah, they're like rocks and things.
Yeah. So I'm going to imbue the rock with a message that says, "Hang on, let me get a timer."
6 seconds is a long time.
It could just be a sentence or whatever. It's like you can get a lot out in 6 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
This is Leonard. We're ghosts. The thing explodes unless a third band is put on it. You guys, and that's 6 seconds.
It's out of energy now. Yeah, so this imbues with a rock, and you see the rock. What does it look like to everybody else that sees this, or that after you've done this? How do they pick up on it?
So I can use three. I can do 3 things at once. Oh, I didn't finish reading. It can also cause a static visual effect, including up to 25 words of text.
So do you have like ghost writing that appears on the wall?
I have ghost writing.
Oh.
So yeah, as you're all standing around, you see a ghostly phrase. Macradius turns to you and says, "You need to make it all mysterious and cool.
So I'm
None of this just telling. You can't tell your feelings outright. Characters can't just say what they feel."
So it's going to appear then. So I was right here when I exploded. It's going to appear in fancy script on the table.
Yeah, okay. As everybody else has seen this, and Leonard's body is charred beyond all remains and recognition, you all start to see script appear on the table in like a ghostly glowing light. And what the hell do you do, Harkus? You've already been freaked out about this. As the mummy turns and says, "We are not alone." And script starts to appear on the table.
What does the script say?
So it says, Leonard
Toot and Ordella
here.
have fallen off, and Leonard has exploded.
So it says, Leonard here, period. We're ghosts trapped for eternity without help.
Macradius says, "There may be a way. Perhaps the Morning Lord will grant us clemency."
Perhaps the Morning Lord will grant us. Perhaps the Morning Lord can help. The
My
Summer
spirit-
Star will explode without third band.
Okay. And so with that, I'm going to shout, "I knew it! I knew it!" And
A lot of good it does him now.
so then I'm going to take my new Smith's tools and Tinkerer's tools, go back to this room that I found, pick up this little piece of metal that I didn't get the first time.
Yep.
And see what we can make happen with this little piece of metal.
Okay. I need you to make me a Arcana check. You have advantage. Are you proficient with Tinker's tools? Is anyone else proficient with Tinker's tools? Toot and Ordella. Your body is charred beyond all recognition. Toot and Ordella, what are you guys doing? You're down at the bottom of this giant ravine.
So I've just like
Trying
reached
to
down
find a way up.
Yeah, I just reached down to try to pull Ordella up. And I say, I hope they leave that and it explodes. And I'm like, oh fuck. And I can
So you see a giant
you
you see a giant explosion happen above. It's just the whole entire hole is just filled with this colossal light. Then you hear Harkus say, "I knew it!" echo down from above.
And I just look at Ordella and say, we need to get up there.
I'm like
got a
cracking
19,
and creaking
yeah.
and moaning, trying to get up.
You guys can make me a athletics or acrobatics check to try to climb out of the ravine, unless you've got some spell or something that's going to get you up.
I could only get me up, so I'm gonna stay with Ordella. But I'll do acrobatics.
What check do I need to roll?
Athletics or acrobatics.
Okay.
Toot, you're able to climb out. It takes some time, but you're able to climb up. Ordella, you make it look easy. You scale a tree and then just climb the rocks all the way up somehow, despite your injuries, and pull yourself up through the hole, and you're back in the room now.
Yeah, I'm just complaining the entire time, going, it was easier to come down.
And as you do, as you pull yourself up, you see the charred body of Leonard lying on the ground. And Harkus saying, "I knew it! I knew it!" And getting Tinker's tools and starting. Harkus, do you just pick up the thing that exploded? Just pick it up.
No. So I rolled a 19 on my Arcana check.
That's enough to pass.
For whatever that's worth.
Yeah.
So then I'm just, having watched him explode, I'm just going to look at it and sort of examine it. With
It
my
appears,
eyes and not my hands.
it appears to be inert with your eyes.
Well, he told me it needed a third band, so I'm not touching it until I put a third band on there.
Okay. So you're trying to turn it on.
I'm going to try and make this band look like the other two bands that are already on.
With the Arcana check 15, you said you said you rolled a 15?
19.
19 with advantage?
Yeah, it was a 19 and a 6.
Yeah, you are able to fit a third band onto it. And when you do, it's got 3 bands around it, and it click, 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 click. And Macradius looks over to you, Leonard, and goes, "He's doing it. He's really got it. We need him to turn it on.
So
I think that if he activates it, that might be what we need. Oh,
So
God, please."
Okay, I'm gonna tell Macradius to be specific, because I can magically tinker again to do another message, but I need to know what it needs to say.
He taps you on the shoulder and says, "It looks good. This device will allow you to control the weather. Well, I do feel that once it's working, my spirit could finally rest."
Okay, do they need to know anything about how to use it, or does it just work?
Let's look here. You have to attune to it. It'll take about an hour.
Will that help get Leonard back too?
I'm pretty sure Leonard is toast, but at least my soul won't be trapped for eternity in this cat.
Yes, perhaps we would be free if it's activated. We would be free.
Okay, I'll ghost write that out.
What do you say?
Looks good. You need to turn it on. It can control the weather.
You must attune.
You must attune. He thinks it will free us from this place.
Okay. So
I love how nobody's like, is this a nefarious spirit?
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm prepared to come back in my second life as a bard.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna reach out and scream, "I knew it!" as I grab a hold of it and see what happens. And sort of focus on trying to attune to it before I blow up.
As you grab a hold of it, it starts to glow orange, and the 3 rings begin to spin around it. And you get the sense that this thing has maybe 3 charges in it, and one of them begins to expend. And your whole body is enveloped in a gold glowing light. And as that happens, you feel yourself above the clouds and above the earth. And right now it is, you are able to cast the 8th level spell, Control Weather. Right now the conditions outside are overcast, and it is Arctic cold. The wind is moderate. You're able to change any of those conditions up, 1, or down. How would you like to move the weather? As you have control over the weather. So it is overcast.
Wow.
Overcast stage 1 is number 3. It is Arctic cold stage 6, and it is moderate wind stage 2. For the duration, up to 8 hours of concentration, in an area of takes 1d4 times 10 minutes for it to take effect. 5 miles around you, you can control this weather. What are you going to do?
I would
with
like
the
for
weather?
it to not be so flippin' cold.
Okay, so all of a sudden it starts to feel warmer. The Arctic cold progresses down to just cold. It's no longer like unbearably cold. In fact, for the first time as you all are in this cabin, maybe the first time since you've been in Icewind Dale, it's just like a 30-degree day. In fact, you start to think that maybe you should want to take off your coats. It's like, oh my God, warm. And what do you do with the wind? It is moderate. Do you increase it or do you make it calm?
I think I would like to decrease the wind.
Okay.
To decrease the wind chill.
It starts to get calm outside. And what about the clouds? It's now overcast.
I would like to dissipate the clouds and get some sunlight in there.
So it goes down to just light clouds. So the sun starts to peek through. It starts to warm up, and the wind dies down. And it actually feels, maybe for the first time since you've been here, pleasant outside. Like really quite pleasant as it starts to surround you. And this light is just enveloping you all around. And you just hear this glomp. And as that happens, Macradius goes, "It works. It really works." And he turns to you, Leonard, and he says, "I took this knowledge. You see my book on the table, and you can see a burnt out book. And it has like only a couple of letters that are really visible on it on the outside. And he says, "But it's not enough. It's not enough to defeat her. But there may be another way. This isn't strong enough. But the ancient ones, they would know." And you can see on the outside of the book, it says, it has like NET for the only letters that are visible. And he says, "This book was an ancient magic book of the kingdom of Nethril. they had powers such as this. There is an ancient city buried here, lost beneath the Arctic, where this book came from. Perhaps you could find this power, but only greater. And he sort of gasps a little bit, takes a breath, and he starts to shimmer and shine. And you hear a voice around you that says, and only you're hearing this, Leonard, and it says, "Your work here is not done." And you all of a sudden are surrounded by warm, warm light. And it feels great. And all of a sudden, everything goes really, really bright. In Leonard, you take a breath as air sort of rushes back into the burnt Leonard corpse down on the ground. As you inhale swiftly, as you see Harkus controlling the weather with this yellow light streaming off of this device that he's holding, and you suck in. And Leonard, you feel great. You stand up and your body is charred and burnt, and you are at full HP. Like, you are fully restored. Like, you've had a long rest. And all of a sudden, you are able to stand up. What do you do or say, Leonard?
So just from Leonard's perspective, the first thing I see, I feel like warmth. I feel breath re-enter my body. I feel fantastic.
You hear a voice that says, "Your work is not done here, my son."
And then I open my eyes and I see Harkus with the ball of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, Leonard is voting for that level up.
So you knew what Harkus was doing.
Oh, Leonard thinks that he has been resurrected by the actions of Harkus. Has no context that didn't happen. So Leonard is profusely grateful to the gentleman with the glowing orb that has seemingly resurrected him.
Yeah, it is less cold outside, and it's actually nice and sort of warm. The wind has died down a good bit as Harkus is controlling it. And you hear, maybe like a few like birds or something outside for the first time. The warm light is enveloping Harkus, and he's able to set it down. And Harkus, you are attuned to the summer star. It has 2 more activations that you can use to cast the 8th level transmutation control weather. Twice more. At your leisure, at such a time as that you feel the need to control the weather.
This doesn't show up in the manual.
You can just add it is a unique item to Icewind Dale.
So I'm going to clue everybody in to that this was magic from Netherrealm, which is apparently an ancient city under the ice somewhere, and that the book is magic. Well, and we saw in the visions the ancient city under the ice.
You did. Yeah, so now you've put a name to it. You've heard about a city of the Empire of Netherrealm.
And we saw a crack in the big glacier.
You saw a crack open up in the glacier
that led to it.
Yep.
And we know that this book is from Netherrealm.
And as you're all standing around talking, Leonard, you all of a sudden, all of you outside here. Well, first of all, as you reappear, Leonard. Leonard is back.
Ooh.
But as this all happens, outside you hear a horrific sound. There is like a horrible, terrible screeching sound that I can't really even describe to you. It's like nothing you, I think, have heard before, but maybe the closest that I've got to it. And that's not even a really good representation. It's like this horrific screech.
But I have heard ice banshees before, so it's not ice banshees.
It's not the same thing as ice banshees. That was too light of a sound. But it's like this screeching, horrible sound. And approaching the cabin, I don't know what you're doing. What are you all doing as you hear this sound?
Is it coming from the big hole?
Coming just from outside, as far as you can tell.
Carrying my great axe and licking my wounds.
Yeah, you're beat up.
Can I rush over to beside the window? Like, I want to be able to peek out, but not actually be directly in front of said window.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, as you peek out, you see something approaching Toot. It appears there's a couple of them. As you peek out, you see a bright light shining initially from the east. There are what look like, and the book describes this as cold, hateful lights approaching. And you see a figure, and where its face should be, a couple of them actually, and where their faces should be, you see nothing but cold blue light. And they seem to be approaching.
Now, did I actually go anywhere, or did I just feel like I was floating above the clouds?
You just felt like you were floating above the clouds.
Okay. All right.
You didn't
So
actually
then
move
I'm gonna make my way over here and see what I can see as well.
Yeah, you see a couple of these figures approaching. With cold blue light where their faces ought to be. And a third one crests the hill.
Okay. Weird question. Can I cast a spell through glass?
What are you casting?
I was gonna try to cast Fairy Fire in a 20-foot cube, hopefully capturing both of those, if possible.
20-foot cube.
Yep.
We got 3 of them now. You can get 2 of them.
Yeah.
And as you're sort of looking closer, several other things start to appear behind them. They're like coming out of the snow. As they sort of like raise their hands, and little critters, as best I can describe them, sort of just rise up out of the snow, and they're approaching all of you. And I'm going to make them visible as they rise up out of the snow. Yes, you can. You can cast Fairy Fire through the window.
Perfect. Yeah, I think I'll get the 2 bigger guys. I don't know that I can get anybody else. Or attempt to get the 2 bigger guys. It's a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
We've dealt with the little things before, correct?
You
Yes.
have.
And they explode upon
They
death,
blow up,
correct? Yes.
Okay, both of them save, I assume, 16 and 17?
Yes, both of those save.
Okay.
All of a sudden, you hear a voice on the wind that says, "Only a real controls the weather here." And the little things all of a sudden start making little like laughing sounds, and they cast a spell, and all of a sudden the big guys, or the walking humanoid-sized ones, are surrounded by what looks like a dense fog. As they sort of disappear, as the entire like base of the cabin is starting to become engulfed in fog. I'm gonna put a marker down for fog. All right. So the base of the cabin's becoming engulfed in fog, and things are sort of vanishing from your view.
Jeff,
Now,
as I
Toot-
see these guys,
Yep, Toot has taken an action. Leonard, what are you doing? You are back from Doom.
now that I'm back from the dead, I am going to summon Roboterson.
Okay, Roboterson is back. Let me find your robot. I don't know what happened to it. I really need to just put this in, like, next to the player characters. There it is. Your flaming robot appears. All right. Harkus, what are you doing with you and your mummy? And Cadillac, what are you doing? And Ordella, you're just readying your great axe.
So I don't know how much sort of leeway I have, but
I'm giving you an action before these things are basically
Okay.
upon you to
So
decide
then-
what you want
so
to do
then-
to get ready.
yeah. So then basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my Breath of the Dragon, which is the 20-foot wide cone, and
All right,
just
they're-
blow it out at where I saw them last.
Yeah, they're basically engulfed in the fog cloud where you can't really see at this point. So where are you putting the cone?
So I'm going to basically my thought was to sort of
And you're
center it
20
on-
feet up. You're 20 feet up, you know.
So I don't know. It doesn't say how far it is. It's a 20-foot wide cone.
This is your Dragonborn thing? Or no?
Yeah, the Breath of the Dragon.
Breath of the Dragon?
So my thought was to just sort of center it on where I saw this.
It is a 20-foot cone, so it's 20 foot long. So you'll have to go outside to, like, get it.
Okay, then I'm gonna walk out and blow at him.
Okay. You're going to blow in the direction where you last saw one?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and center it here, so it should get to
Okay.
maybe a little bit on the
Okay.
side.
You can't really see where they are, but go ahead
Yeah.
and do that. It's a deck
I'm-
save for things.
Yeah, it is. So,
We got a 14,
so that saves.
and we've got a... Shoot. Hang on. Oh, wait, that's why I'm not able to get it. Sorry. We got a 14, and we've got a 3.
Okay, so
All right, so one of these things takes some damage. And you're not sure what.
the one that passes takes half.
Okay.
And what I was kind of hoping is that maybe the dragon, the fire breath, would dissipate some of the fog.
Okay. It's magical, so it just sort of seems to blow into it. The fog seems to be more magical than natural, so it doesn't seem
Fair
to do
enough.
doesn't seem to do much. Yeah. All of a sudden, Harkus, you hear skittering as little ice things are clawing up. Is anybody going outside, or are you guys going to try to deal with this inside the cabin?
I want to go outside, but I do not want to be the only person standing outside.
Toot has zero interest in going outside.
I think that it's more tactically sound to stay inside.
Okay, if everybody's
Thank-
Leonard is not going to be.
I just wanted to
Thank-
get the opportunity to know
guys.
what you're going to do.
Thanks.
All of a
Yeah.
sudden, Harkus,
Um,
you find a thing float up right next to you. And Toot, this one seems to hover right up next to the window. And everybody go ahead and let me get the initiative tracker up and get it cleared. And make sure it's cleared. And then everybody can go ahead and roll initiative.
So while we're still in the prep phase, can I have an action?
Yeah.
I am going to say a quick prayer to Sylvanus and give myself divine favor.
Okay.
For extra attack damage.
Roll me insight, Cadillac. Are you looking out the window to look at these things?
Yes.
Roll me insight. Initiative 17 for you. I'm rolling the baddies initiative, so I'll jump to y'all in just a second if anybody didn't get in.
I'm rolling my initiative now.
Sonar can just act on your initiative.
Oh, okay.
It's fine. I'm gonna roll 1 initiative for the little icy guys. I'm gonna put him off to the side so that he doesn't die and then the initiative goes away. Alright. Anybody not make it in the tracker?
I did not make it in the tracker. My rolls aren't going from D&D Beyond. I got a 17.
I got you.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yatara, what'd you get?
I have no initiative, apparently. 6.
6. So Yatara is last. Yikes. Alright. Roll. What was your insight roll, Granite Guts?
It was
13.
a 13, yes.
These things look undead to you.
Okay.
Look like undead sorts of things. Toot, it has appeared in front of you.
Okay.
And the little ice things, you hear the sounds of skittering as they, you think they must be like climbing up the like poles or something.
Okay. It's not within range that I would think it would get an opportunity attack if I move away from the window. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and in your game, bonus action to drink a potion, action to feed it to someone?
I mean, depends. I think that action to give somebody a potion seems reasonable. I think that you could probably drink one as a bonus on your own turns. Fine. That's fine. I think that's reasonable. Hadn't really put too much thought into it.
Okay.
Sure, bonus action to drink a potion.
Great. Yeah, I don't intend to drink it. I'm walking over to Ordella, pulling out my potion of heroism and saying, drink this, and literally putting it to her lips and forcing it down her throat. And I'm hoping she just like accepts it.
I will.
You can do that however you want. But it is 10 temporary hit points, and you are also under the effects of the Bless spell without any form of concentration, which means you get an additional d4 to your attack rolls, as well as any saving throws that you have to make for the next hour.
Sweet.
Which might be beneficial, because I don't know how much I can bring you up. Yeah. Is that an action or a bonus action for me?
That'd be an action.
Great. So the rest of my movement, I move 5 to get there. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm going to like try to duck back somewhere back here behind the table.
Okay.
And I'm just going to wait. That's all I'm doing.
Harkus, you're up. What are you doing?
I'm going to move toward this thing.
Yeah.
And
maybe the scariest thing you've ever seen is it appears to be like a person that is like half dead, half not dead, but there's no face. There's just cold light coming out of it.
Okay. And then I'm gonna swing at it with my quarterstaff while I'm going after it. I'm going to explain to it that we're trying to get down to its lost city so that we can free their souls and release them the way that we released our gnomish friend.
Okay.
But rolled the wrong one. Sorry, hold on.
That is a miss.
Yeah, it was an 11. So, yeah, I rolled the damage first by mistake. So.
Yes, okay. The 11 is a miss.
All right, I'm gonna unarmed strike him, and the 14 hit?
14 is a hit. Yeah, that hits. Is this thing immune to non-magical damage? I've given you guys magical weapons at this point. Okay.
And
All right, anything
then
else?
Sonar is going to come out,
Mm-hmm.
and he is going to. Where did Sonars go? Sonar is going to dreadful glare at that thing that I just swung at.
Okay. It seems unaffected.
This is unfortunate.
As
And
it
then he's
glares at
gonna-
this cold face, cold
He's
faceless
going to hit
thing.
it with his rotting fist.
That's a miss.
Come on, Sonar. That's ridiculous.
All right. It is this one's turn. And it's going to push through the door. And as it does, it's going to float over towards Granite Guts. And it just emits this tremendous bright light at you, Granite Guts. It just blasts light at you. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. You managed to fend it off. The light is super bright, but you are not, like, frozen. But it looks at you and opens where a mouth should be, and it just blasts a ray of pure coldness at you. 19 to hit.
The hits.
It does 26 cold damage.
Okay.
And that's it for its turn. Ordella, you're up.
Okay, well, I'm going to use my Moon Touch Longsword. Gonna
Okay.
try that. And come up and
That's a hit.
sweet.
Okay. You hit him one-handed or two-handed?
2, I'm angry.
Of course. That's a hit. What else? Second attack?
Oh, yes, that's right. Do it again.
That's a hit.
Sweet. And again.
13 more.
Probably would have been helpful in this fight for me to have been a higher level.
Might have been. You do have a mummy.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
I guess
Any
that's
bonus
it.
action or bonus actions or movements?
Yes. Looks like I can attack again.
Well, if you
Yeah.
choose to use your action surge, you can.
Okay.
Are you going to action surge? You get one per long rest.
Oh, 1 per long rest. Never mind.
Up
I'll
to
save
you.
it.
You'll save it. Are you going to move or do anything else to your bonus action? You can second wind as a bonus action to get more hit points.
Oh, I can do that now?
It's a
Okay.
bonus action. You can do it any
Sweet.
time. So as a
Okay.
bonus action, you can use second wind, which I think should give you a D10
Okay.
plus your level.
So I just roll a D10.
D10 plus 5.
So, D10. Oh, useless.
7 hit points back.
Better than nothing.
So as a bonus action, Ordella second wins to give herself back 7 more.
Okay.
And it's this next one's turn. What's he gonna do? He's gonna.
Jeff, where are we in the initiative tracker?
You're out of order. You should go first before this thing. Leonard, you're up. 'Cause you're 17 at 16.
Okay.
I
Oh,
think
it's
it may
all out of
still-
order.
Yeah.
It's all
Alright.
out of order.
Well, pippies.
All right. Anyway, Leonard,
gonna-
you're up.
move Fly Guy out here.
And then it's going to be Granite Guts. And I'll get it in order next time. I don't know why we're so out of order. Okay. Moving him outside?
Yeah, move him out here.
Okay.
And he is going to aim at these guys with his 15-foot cone.
Okay. My methods never got in the initiative either. Poopy. I don't know why that is. There we go.
Okay, Eldritch Cannon Flamethrower.
All right.
There we go.
It's got to make a dex save.
A DC something dex save. DC 14 dex save. And that should hit at least 2 of these.
You're going towards the little ice guys?
Yeah. So trying to get as many of them as possible in a 15-foot cone. I can get at least 2, maybe 3.
We got 3 fails.
Okay, 10 fire damage.
Okay. Okay. They all let out this horrific scream. Ah! And the first one, as it's letting out this horrific scream, explodes. The first one right up on your flamethrower.
Yep.
Just entirely explodes. When it does this, everything there needs to make a dex save within a 10-foot radius. So that includes Sonar and Harkus, and your flamethrower. Dex saves. Dex save, dex save, dex save, and probably you too, Leonard.
Okay.
Yeah, you're within 10 feet.
That's not going to be a success. That's for me.
Dex saves for you, Harkus, and for your mummy.
And then the Fly Guy does okay on it. Leonard did not.
Harkus, you're fine. Your mummy. The DC is 10. So basically just Leonard.
Yeah.
Leonard, you take 4 piercing damage as icicles blow out, and this guy explodes. The front guy. And he's gone. Granite Guts.
Oh, I've still got Leonard's turn.
Yeah, you got Leonard's turn.
I am going to cast Firebolt at this guy.
Okay. All right, that's a hit. It lets out this horrific sound.
Hang on. What? 1 more damage. 8.
It lets out a horrific sound as you do that. And I'm so out of order here, but I'll get it back next time. Granite Guts, you're up. Is Granite Guts not at the table? He is not. Okay. Then in that case, it is the bad guy's turn. Who's gonna float through the window, and he's gonna try to blind Ordella. Ordella, make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Has that window been broken yet? Or
Yes, you're the one that broke it.
With fairy fire?
We broke.
No, you broke it when you
windows?
climbed into the building.
No,
I
that
thought
was
we
the other
broke-
window.
We broke this one.
Oh, okay, good point. Good point.
I guess he can break the window.
Yeah, he's just gonna
himself.
break through it.
I mean, okay,
It breaks.
you said
It breaks
what?
through it, and kind of floats
Constitution?
in there. Yep, con save. What's the DC? I think it's a 10.
I sure hope so.
Let me see. Can't remember. Nope. It's a DC 14. Ordella, you are entirely blinded. Can't see
Hang
anything.
on. You are under the effects of Bless, which means you get a D4 added to saving throws.
Sweet.
Roll a 3 or better. You fend it off. You fend off the blindness due to the blessing. But all of a sudden, this thing is upon you, and it tries to smash you with its fists. 7 to hit and a 13 to hit. Do either of those hit?
No.
Okay, you fend off the blindness and manage to not get hit by it. This thing sort of moves past Ordella, staying in her like rage, and it's gonna flash at you. Same saving throw, you Toot.
Sure. Actually, what type of saving? Con
save.
Oh.
Not much is going to save there, and as you're blinded by it, it blasts you with a ray of cold. Oh, it critically misses. It rolled a critical miss as it tried to cold blast you. Toot, you're entirely blind. All of a sudden, the mephit things are up, and the skittering is now revealed as 3 of these things claw their way out of the hole in the ground. And one of them skitters over to attack Ordella, and 2 of them make way for Toot, who's entirely blind. Can't see it coming. Ordella, it tries to claw at you. 14.
Miss.
And these 2 can't quite get to Toot, but they're going to unleash cold breath on you, Toot. So I need you to make 2 dexterity saving throws. And they're disadvantaged, please. So 10 and a 9. Toot, you're going to take 11 cold damage. The last 2 are up here, and they're going to run over here, and they're going to try to cold breath at Harkus, Sinar, and basically everybody there. Harkus, Sinar, and Leonard, and your flamethrower all need to make dex saves, please. 15-foot cone. We're just going to roll it once here for both of them to save time. So Leonard, you pass. Harkus, you pass. Sinar, I need a dex save for him. Mummies are not super dexterous. Oh my god. Yeah, you all pass.
He's dancing like an elf.
You all pass. Everybody takes half. 6 damage. 6 cold. The cold light guy is up on you, Harkus, and it's going to unleash its ray at you. 19 to hit.
Yep.
Does 23 cold damage. Ordella, you're up. You're blind. Oh, no, Ordella's not blind.
No.
The little ice guy and the cold guy are 2 cold guys are right on you.
Okay. This little lion-looking thing, I'm going to slash at him.
Okay.
Get him out of my way.
Hits. 10 damage. You second
Great.
attack.
All right.
Still there. He's not dead.
Okay.
Finally about to come around to Yatara. That hits. He explodes in front of you. Make a dex save.
Oh.
With the D4 added to it.
Okay.
You pass.
Okay. Sweet.
So you're gonna take 4 damage. Yatara, finally. I'm sorry you were so far back in initiative, Yatara, but you're up.
I was taking a nap. It was fun. What was the one which one was Ordella swinging at earlier in damage?
Ordella was swinging at one right here that exploded. And of the cold guys?
Yeah, the
this
cold
one.
guy. That one. Okay. I'm going to cast Magic Missile. I'm going to actually shoot I want to do third level. Do 3. Can you do them one at a time?
You can.
Okay. I'm gonna start with it.
Okay. So you just fire them off one at a time. All right. -2. -3. It's taking the hits. It's definitely still there. -2. -4. -5.
And that's it.
It is still up. You think that you've maybe what we used to call bloodied, maybe you have bloodied it? If that gives you guys an idea of how many hit points these things have? In older games, bloodied was like half HP. Or lower. Any movement or bonus actions, Guitar?
Actually, I'm gonna move back a little bit.
And Guitar starts to back up a little bit. Oh, you're on the measuring tool, so.
I'm sorry. All right.
Toot, you're up. You're blind.
Okay. Toot's first instinct is that if I'm blind, oh shit, I can't do anything. I don't want them to see me. So I touch myself and I cast invisibility. And I will go invisible.
Toot, you vanish.
Yeah, and I'm going to, I was leaning up against the table, so I'm going to use that and then just kind of like walk around the edge of the table.
Yeah, you can do that.
That's all I'm going to do with my action.
All right. I'm not sure why we have an initiative for the flamethrower. We'll just use your initiative, Leonard.
Yeah, that's what I've been
Arcus,
doing.
you're up.
All right.
Is there a saving throw, by the way, for the blindness, or no?
It is until its next turn.
I'm going to swing at him with my Frostmaiden short sword.
Okay.
And that fails miserably.
Yep, that's a big old fail.
And then I'm going to smack him in the face. Or try. Or what used to be a face.
Yeah. Punch. Yes, somehow you make contact with the cold light. It hurts your hand to hit it. But you make contact. And it does some damage.
I'm going to flurry of blows him.
Okay, spending a key point, flurrying. That hits. And one more. Hits. It's a good hit. And your mummy?
He is going to, since the staring was totally useless, he's actually going to try to glare at this little.
Yeah, that'll work.
Right here.
Yeah, that'll work.
So he's going to dreadful glare at him.
Looks like they both pass.
Yep. And then he's going to swing his rotting fist at the faceless guy.
Okay. Hits. See if this guy is sensitive to necrotic damage. Okay. It seems to work as part of it sloughs off. Anything else, Harkus?
Nope. I think that's it.
Granaguts.
Okay. As a bonus action, I am going to cast Sanctuary on myself. As a buff, and then I'm going to attack I'm going to attack the guy right in front of me with my lance.
Okay.
And so I'm going to go ahead and do both pokes at the same time.
Okay. Hit.
Okay. And then we're going to do bam, bam.
16.
And then hold on. We are also going to roll 2d4 for the additional buff that I had. And I can't remember where that came from, but it was a d4 per attack.
Okay. Does some strong damage to it.
And that's all I can do.
Okay. Movement? Bonus actions?
Not unless you're going to let me do another bonus action, in which case I'll be happy
Nope.
to.
Nope. Leonard. Leonard and Leonard's flamethrower.
Okay. Flamethrower is going to move to here to do its cone attack without hitting anybody else.
Okay. All right.
2d8.
Okay. So it fails. It takes 6 fire damage.
Yes.
Okay.
And then against the same guy, Leonard is going to cast Firebolt.
Okay. That hits. Y'all are actually rolling pretty well.
So that's 9.
Yep.
Plus 4, 13 fire damage.
Ooh, nice. All right. Any movement or other bonus actions, Leonard?
No.
Okay.
Actually, yeah. I'm going to move a little further back so that I wouldn't be in a 15-foot cone.
Okay. This thing's going to try to blind Granite Guts. Granite Guts, give me a Constitution save.
Okay. Con. There you go.
You're blinded,
Oh, lovely.
and it's going to attack you. A 23 to hit.
Yep.
And an 8 to hit.
Yep.
So it
No,
does.
it is not.
Okay. The 8 misses, I assume.
Yes.
So it does 9 bludgeoning and 14 cold damage.
Okay, so what were those again?
So 9 bludgeoning and then 14 cold. As it smacks into you.
Okay. I'm still up.
Good. It's the next one's turn. And it's going to turn at Ordella, and it's going to try to blind you, Ordella. Make a con save.
Plus a D4.
Oh, you know what? Granite Guts? Roll the d4. Or is Granite Guts plus 2 or is it just Ordella? It's just
It's
Ordella.
just Ordella
Yeah.
because of the potion of air.
Ordella, you're blinded. And it's going to try to slam you, too. It rolls a 9 and a 10.
Oh.
These are for real rolls, so it misses both. The Mephits are up. Toot, you're invisible. They're going to skitter around and try to, look for you. The best they can. And you've sort of moved, so they can't find you. I think they're going to run up on Yatara. And I think both of them will just try to, claw at Yatara. So 20. And it didn't roll the damage right, but Yatara, that does 5 total damage. 3 slashing and 2 cold. So 5 total.
Okay.
Not that great. The other one's outside. They this one runs up on Sonar and is going to slash at it. They both slash at the mummy. So it's not rolling the damage for this correctly. So it is 1d4 plus 1. We're going to say that is 4 slashing. And then 1d4 cold. So 4 slashing and 2 cold to the mummy. So 6 total. It is the Cold Light Walker's turn. It's going to try to blind you, Harkus. Make a con save. You save. And it's going to Cold Ray at the mummy. Does a 12 hit the mummy?
Yes.
24 cold damage to the mummy. And it got hit previously for a few. How many HP is the mummy down to?
28.
8. All right. Ordella, you're up.
Okay. I'm blind.
You know this thing is on you. You can still
Okay,
swing
I was
at
about
it.
to say, can I still feel him? Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be disadvantaged, but you can sort of swing where you thought it was since you.
But I still have that +4.
Yes, you do.
It is disadvantaged.
Okay, so I swing twice and
take
then
the
do
lower.
+4.
Yep, you take the lower.
Okay.
So 13 plus a D4, right? Or is it plus 4?
Yeah, plus
A D4.
D4. Yeah,
You hit it.
I hit it for
Mhm.
13.
And you're blindly swinging it. Are you going to make second attack? Same thing?
Heck yeah.
All right. Roll it twice. 11 and 21. So roll a D4.
Okay.
You miss with the second attack.
Ow.
Any movement? Are you going to try to run away?
Yeah, and probably run. No, because I know that there's that big gaping hole there.
Yep.
I'm blind.
There is a big gaping hole there. That's right.
Yeah, so I'm not moving anywhere since I can't see where that hole is.
Yep. That hole, the death hole.
Mm-hmm.
Guitarra, you're up. You got 2 little ice guys clawing at you.
I'm gonna divide. I'm gonna do magic missile. I'm gonna start on one of them.
And Toot, your blindness is over now, by the way. You can see again, Toot.
Okay.
Okay, magic missile.
I'm gonna start on the one furthest away from me.
Okay. Go ahead and roll them. 4. 3. 3. 4. Still here. 2. It's looking worse, but it's still around.
Ah,
Didn't kill it. Almost. It looks terrible. You kind of blast it full of holes. Are you going to try to move anywhere or anything?
yeah. How far can I move away?
Your full movement is 30 feet. Now, if this one, at least one of them is up on you, so it may try to claw at you as you try to move away. But if you're going to move somewhere and try to take cover or something, you know. As you move, it might try to claw at you.
Yeah.
I just don't know what Guitar would do in the situation with something on her or on him
I'm gonna
if
move.
he would.
I'm actually gonna stagger back a little bit into the corner.
Okay. One of them is going to try to claw at you. 22 hits. And it's going to do... it does 5 total damage to you. 3 slashing and 2 cold, but you are able to move back into the corner next to Leonard. Toot, you're up. You're invisible. You're not blind.
So of those that I can see, Ordella's the one that's looking worse as far as my party in health points, correct?
Definitely.
Yes.
No questions there, right?
I mean, Ordella's still bleeding out of both of her nose nostrils after she fell off of the hole.
I have
That's-
8 hit points.
That's my thought. So I think my whole purpose right now is to protect Ordella.
Yay.
The
You're
one
my
that's
favorite.
I hope so. I hope I get to level up, right? Kidding. The one
Yes.
that's attacking Ordella, how bad is it looking?
It's hard to tell since it's kind of an undead thing, but it's been hit for sure. They're like pieces of its flesh that are falling off. And as you notice this strange thing, too, you notice that it's wearing the clothing of like a 10-towner. It appears to be wearing like people clothing. And in fact, it's sort of strange because like you recognize like maybe like a symbol on its shirt. Because like the symbol says like the wet trout. It's like a logo for the bar you've been to.
That I work for, right?
No, you work for the White Lady.
Oh, yeah, the other one. Okay, got it. Perfect. Well, I don't know if an undead could be put to sleep, but I think I'm going to try to put sleep somewhere in this corner so it does not affect Ordella, because we're not doing that again.
Okay.
I want to affect the one that is attacking it. I want to try to bring it out of the game right now.
Let me look at the sleep spell.
It is not a saving throw, so it's just the amount of points or hit points that the character has, assuming I roll well enough.
Okay. Yes, it fails. I'm sorry. Reading
Okay.
the words of the sleep spell, it says undead and creatures immune to the charmed effect aren't affected by this spell.
Oh, fuck me. Okay, that means I'm also visible now.
Yep, you're visible.
'Cause that failed. Okay, panicking and seeing that that didn't work, I'm going to.
But sleep is an area of effect spell, right?
It is, but I
How
would
wide is the area of
typically-
effect?
It's only a 20-foot.
Oh no.
Hold on. I mean, I was
Yes.
specific.
First of all, go ahead and roll the hit points. Where are
Yeah,
you
no.
putting the?
I can put it somewhere over here
Okay,
where it
but-
would only impact that, but because this is undead, it doesn't matter because it doesn't help it.
Yeah, is that what
So-
you're doing, or are you going to try to like target a wider area and get more things? Which would
Hell
include...
no! I've already accidentally put my people to sleep before. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
I have learned some things. No, I'm going to realize that didn't work because apparently this is undead, which I didn't previously know, and I'm going to panic and run away.
Okay.
Bravely, of course. So like 5, 10, 15, 20, somewhere over here. That's
Toot bravely runs away. Harkus, you're up.
All right.
Your mummy is not healable, just so you know.
Well, that seems unfortunate.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to heal.
All right. So I'm going to try and stab at this guy with my Frostbrand sword.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Oh, come on.
All right, you do 5 damage to it.
And then I'm going to smack him. Oh, no, I'm not.
Critical miss. Flurry of blows.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
And let's see.
Yep, that hits. All right, and one more. Okay, describe to me how angry Harkus punches the undead to death. It had 1 hit point
All right, well,
when you got to that last roll.
yeah. Basically just it looks like Sugar Ray Leonard on the speed bag.
As it falls over dead, the light goes out, and what you see is the face of a 10-towner person. And you get the overwhelming sense that this is the dead body of someone that had been sacrificed to the goddess.
I'm just going to look down at it and go, I tried to tell you we were trying to free your soul.
He's not from the city of the Netheril city or whatever.
I don't know that. I don't know that.
Yeah.
He just sees person coming up out of the ground where he assumes this place is.
Yep. And what are you doing with your mummy? Anything?
So he's going to.
We'll finish this up at this fight and that'll be it.
Yeah. So he's going to try and look at this method.
Yep. They're immune to it for 24 hours.
Oh, okay.
They already both passed.
Oh, okay. Well, then he's just going to punch at him with his rotting fist.
That is a hit. And that method explodes. So you and the mummy both need to make dex saves, please. You both pass. So each of you are going to take 4. Piercing damage to you and the mummy. So the mummy's down to 24. All right.
Okay.
And Cadillac Granite Guts is up. Unless you're moving anywhere. You and your mummy can move. You are not in melee with anything, so you're free to move without opportunity attacks.
I think I'd like to move to the inside.
All right. Make that so. While Cadillac is pondering his turn, you can make that be so.
I've made a terrible decision.
Cadillac,
my 7 hit points and I have made it.
All right. Things on this side of the cabin are quite dire. And I am blind as a bat.
But you know the thing is on you.
I'm pulling into one of my pouches and grabbing the blossom of a kudzu vine that I keep in case of emergency, and I channel divinity and I shout, "The power of Sylvanus compels you."
Okay.
And I attempt to turn the unholy within a 30-foot range.
Yep. What saving throw do they have to make?
12.
Wisdom?
Yes.
They both fail. And they are compelled. Is it on their turn they're compelled?
I do not know. On failure, it is turned for a minute. Until it takes damage. It does not state when.
Condition.
Oh, my sheet.
Hang on. Turned condition. Let me just look at that real fast.
If the creature fails, it is turned. Must spend its turns trying to move as far away from you as it can, and cannot willingly move to a space within 30 feet. So that covers me and Ordella.
Yep. It's turn. They are both turned.
So yeah,
Leonard.
that happens during their turn.
Leonard, you're up. They let out a shriek like a...
All right. Leonard is going to... where's my guy? Okay, my guy's out here. Flamethrower is going to move to here.
Okay.
And sit pretty for a minute. Actually, Flamethrower is going to move to right here and get this guy with his cone.
Okay.
Because I'm not exploding another method on top of myself.
I understand that. It fails. A dex save, it rolls a 5. Ooh.
All right, 14 fire damage.
It lets out a horrible hiss. And describe how this thing's burnt up. And it's destroyed by fire.
The little drone hovers over toward it, and just both barrels shoots fire out at it, and you see like the robe that it's in just dissipate, fall to the ground.
Yeah. And there is a body remaining. You can tell it is a former humanoid. And you can tell that this is maybe a citizen of Bryn Shander.
Oh, I love it. And then Leonard is going to firebolt again.
Hits.
All right. And then 14 fire damage at this one.
It lets out a horrible hiss. It's going to use its turn moving as far away from Granite Guts as it can. And it flies out of Granite Guts' range. And Ordella and Granite Guts, neither of you are blinded right now. And both of you get opportunity attacks as it moves away.
Yay. Okay. I'm going to take my javelin and throw it.
You can. It's a melee attack as it goes by you.
I thought it was going.
As it moves by you, you make a melee attack.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I'll take the
longest.
longest.
And it's going to move 30 feet, so it moves to about a little further, actually.
Okay, so as it's going by, I'm going to take my long sword and slash
that
at it.
That hits. And same thing for Granite Guts.
All right.
That's 11. Granite Guts, you can make a melee attack against it. That hits. Ouch. As you both stab at it. As it rounds the corner, it sees Toot.
So that 9, you have a D4 still. Just FYI. I don't know if that would matter, but
she rolled an 11, so yeah, add a D4, Ordella.
Oh, okay.
Is that damage rolls?
No, you're blessed, so...
It's attack rolls and damage rolls?
No, it's just attack rolls.
She hit. Then it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
The
I was
9
like,
is
man,
a
I should have been
damage
doing
roll.
that the whole time.
No.
It sees Toot, and it lets out a blast. It's going to try to blind Toot again. So make a con save, Toot. You save, and it's going to try to cold rate you 11.
An 11 does not hit.
All right. It's so disturbed by being turned that it blasts off and misses. The two Mephits are going to charge down onto Harkus and try to claw at Harkus. Does the 16 hit?
Unfortunately.
It does 5, 2 slashing and 3 cold damage to you. Ordella, you're up. Oh, this other Mephit is going to attack Sonar, who's outside. Or actually, probably Leonard, who's right beside.
Yeah, I moved there to try to protect the mummy.
Yeah, it's going to attack you, Leonard. It rolls a 5, so it misses. And Ordella, you're up.
He's away from chair.
What have you got, Ordella? Oh, she's away from chair. All right. Yatara, then you're up.
I'm gonna hit the let's see, how far away is he? Oh, I can hit him with the firebolt from here.
Oh, yes.
I hit him with a firebolt, or her.
The cold light guy? This
Yeah.
guy? All right, go ahead. Roll it. Yeah, that hits. It lets out that horrible sound that like the wraiths in the Lord of the Rings make. It's just like... Any bonus actions or movement?
I'm going to move here.
Getting away from those ice methods. Good call. Toot, you're up. You see how this thing just like... It tried to blind you, and it just let out this horrible hiss as it got attacked. You're up, Toot. Or Ordella. We skipped you, Ordella, because you'd been away. So it's your turn, Ordella, and then Toot.
Okay, what did I miss?
It tried to flare at Toot. Yatara, he firebolted at the guy with the cold face, and that's all you missed.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna run up on him and slash at him.
Ooh, getting brave, running right up on him.
That will break the thing. Just FYI.
What thing?
The turning only lasts its turn, right?
No, it lasts for a whole minute unless it's attacked.
Wait.
So
what,
you guys
break
took
what thing?
opportunity attacks anyway, so
Oh, that's true.
Yatara, that's a hit. I'm sorry, not Yatara. Ordella, that's a hit.
Okay.
14. Does 8.
Then
Second attack.
Second attack.
That's a hit.
12.
Okay, Ordella, how does this look as you bring it down with your great axe, charging in with like no hit points for yourself? What's it look like?
Oh,
Describe
I like how
how-
you have that labeled weak floor now.
Describe how you kill it.
I cut it straight in half. I'm just mad.
Yeah,
I'm done with these.
It just falls to pieces. Harkus, you're up. You're surrounded by 2 of the little icy guys.
I think you skipped Toot.
Oh, Toot, then yeah, Toot. You're up next. Toot, then Harkus.
Okay. Am I convinced that an ice method is not an undead?
Yes.
Perfect. I'm going to try to put them to sleep, and I'm going to do it in such a way that I don't put Harkus to sleep as well,
Yeah,
ideally.
you can definitely do that. Roll the
Perfect.
dice.
Perfect. Let's see what I can do here. And just to make sure, I'm going to upcast this, and I don't really do that. So we're going to do it at 3rd level. That did not do what I thought it was supposed to do.
So it's 7d8. Oh no, for each level above first. 5d8 plus 3rd level.
1, 2,
it's
3,
4
4,
more d8.
5.
So
Okay,
it's 4
fine.
more d8, so roll 4d8.
Ooh.
18 plus 23. All right. Both of these fall a snoring.
Perfect.
They're both out.
And I'll just reiterate, if you touch them, they will wake, but maybe move first before someone
And then-
hits them.
With that, I'm going to drop you out of initiative because there's only one more that has 1 hit point, and we're just going to say you're able to take care of it without much problem. So the only 2 remaining bad guys are now sound asleep and completely out. And I think that as things calm down and you put them to sleep and you see the cold, dead bodies of the undead, the air is warm, the wind is still, the sun is shining, maybe for the first time you've ever seen, as Harkus has cast an ability to warm the earth. And Leonard reveals to you what the spirit of Macradius told you. His learnings about how he made the machine in the book. You find the book of Netheril magic. You know that this has something to do with a lost Netheril city. You don't know where. You know, buried somewhere deep, deep in the ice. But that may be the answer. And this is where we'll leave you all. Until next time.
Before we go, I'm going to dig down in my back pocket,
You have leveled up, Harkus.
pull out a 5th level.
Harkus.
I'll allow
You-
it.
Harkus has leveled up to 5th level
Yay!
to catch up with the rest of the crew. I know that was a bit of a long session tonight. I thought it was going to be short, but then it ran long because I had to turn Leonard into a ghost.
Oh, love it.
That was great.
I was
And-
already working on Donatello.
And I loved Ordella falling off the pit of death, and then
I bet
Toot
you did.
and then Toot diving down to like the skydive
Yeah, that was
rescue.
cool. Superman style.
Yep, absolutely. Good night, I know we ran later than expected, but that was great. Good night, everybody. We'll pick it up here next week while you've got some more answers, but maybe not direction. But the mirror told you other places to go and other people maybe to talk to. You've heard about some dangerous plots afoot in the world, and those things are going to have to be stopped, or bad things are going to happen. Until next time.
Okay.
Good
Okay.
night, everybody.
Bye.
Can't wait.
Good night.